my near-death experience, the things I learned, and the things I think you should know. So I'm going to be reading from my notes because I have a lot to say and I don't want to forget anything. So if I'm looking away from the camera or it sounds scripted, that's why. So let's begin. So today I wanted to bring to you a topic that might help you in some way, as I do with all my YouTubes, but I cannot stress enough how there is a higher intelligence, in fact many types of higher intelligences in this universe and indeed here on planet Earth. A big part of what I've been doing since my near-death experience has been learning to communicate and work with these higher intelligences. I believe that the future of humanity lies in learning or relearning how to work with and utilize these higher intelligences, be they angels, extraterrestrials, Jesus, or even God, and that by doing so, we will enter a new dawn for humanity. I am here today to plant a seed that you too can learn to utilize these higher intelligences to not only improve your life and the lives of those around you, but to leave a better world for all those who follow. I mean, what is the point of being human if we're not going to leave a better world for the people that follow? So during my near-death experience, the first thing I remember is seeing Earth from outer space and seeing all the souls coming and going. I felt such empathy for humanity because I saw that most of humanity is going about their days stuck in a sort of rat race, not knowing that there is a higher truth and that that higher truth could set humanity free and create something like heaven on earth. In fact, it is my belief that if humanity is to enjoy heaven on earth as it is meant to be, that we must create that heaven. While my angel Sarah and I were traveling to heaven, we traveled on a sort of soul highway. I saw that there are many types of beings and that they all had souls similar to mine. They appeared as red and green streaks of light traveling down a corridor in a place of darkness. The whole scene reminded me of being on the I-5 corridor at night with red taillights as far as the eye could see. The souls coming toward us appeared as streaks of green light, while the souls going away from us appeared as red streaks of light. Some would get off the corridor going to our left or our right, like exit ramps on a freeway. The confirmation for me, at least during my near-death experience, that there are many different types of intelligent life came when I was told by Jesus that I could come back to this life, I could come back to Earth in another body, or I could go on to another type of life or life form. During my near-death experience, I also lived as what I call Earth consciousness, where I lived as the Earth and saw the Earth as a sort of intelligent computer. To me, this opened my eyes that there are more types of consciousness and intelligence than just humans, angels, and God. More than that, living as the Earth and understanding the Earth has a consciousness made me realize that all matter is consciousness, as weird or even unintuitive as that sounds. I saw that there are many types of beings watching over and helping humanity, not just angels or God. Perhaps they are even working with angels or with God to help mankind. So how do we practically apply this knowledge to help ourselves and help humanity? Well, there are many different techniques that you can employ to communicate with these higher intelligences to improve not only your life, but the lives of those around you. And in that way, we are helping to make a better world. You don't have to be a psychic to contact different types of higher intelligence. In fact, you are probably already in contact with them without even knowing it. For example, you may have had a prophetic dream or had your intuition speak to you. So remote viewing is a technology of the mind that you can learn to directly contact higher intelligences. Since my near-death experience, I have had a sort of psychic and spiritual awakening. I came across remote viewing and remote influencing in my desperate search to find ways of communicating with Sarah, my angel, because I really miss her so much. Every day I miss her. I've since learned to use remote viewing to meet up with and talk with Jesus, as well as Sarah. I believe that using remote viewing as a spiritual technology of the mind to create a sort of high-tech method to praying can change the world. I believe it is something that mankind has always practiced, but that it has been hidden in plain sight. I truly believe that remote viewing can change the world. And it really has been misconstrued in the media and online, but it is something that we are all doing, but we do it without knowing and without intent. Imagine the possibilities it could have in your life to be able to work with extraterrestrials, angels, Jesus, and God, or even future humans, because on the other side there is no time. And the other side is where we are infinite and where I believe real reality takes place. So what if you could see the future, the past, and the present from a higher perspective? How would that change your world? Before my near-death experience, I wasn't even sure that I believed in angels, God, or extraterrestrials. But the things that I was shown during my experience, and the things I've seen since I started remote viewing, have only confirmed that my experience was somehow more real than this reality. And that's very much what it felt like. It was more real than real, which makes me question, what is this reality? So just the other day, I was having an incredibly challenging night because of my health issues, and I was deep in prayer and meditation when Jesus started talking to me. And suddenly I found myself back in heaven in the same courtyard outside the room where I met with Jesus during my near-death experience. Sarah was to my left and Jesus was in front of me. The courtyard was made of these meter-square marble and crystal tiles or bricks and had a slat patio roof held up by these marble pillars that had golden torches that were lit, lining the walkway in the courtyard. I kneeled before Jesus and bowed my head, and he told me to rise and to embrace him. And I really wasn't prepared for the emotional impact that that single embrace would have on me. I broke down to tears, and again, remote viewing Jesus was somehow more real than real, and embracing him profoundly healed my psyche. I was able to let go of all the fear and all the stress I've been holding on to since my near-death experience. It was really quite cathartic and unexpected. I really would like to teach everyone to use remote viewing in the same sort of manner. Although I suppose not all of us are ready for a spiritual awakening that would allow for such remote viewing to take place. Even those that may be ready for an awakening may not be ready for the hard work and challenges associated with the spiritual and psychic awakening. Though I believe we are all psychic, it is just a matter of believing in our capabilities and training ourselves to use our God-given supernatural abilities. Before having my near-death experience, I wasn't sure I believed in extraterrestrials, but since I have learned to communicate with what I call my star friends, and that's because they don't like the term alien or extraterrestrial. They have helped me to train my intuition and have shown me a lot of support. For example, one morning I woke up at about 3:30 in the morning, and something told me that if I went outside, I would see a UFO. Sure enough, as soon as I walked out on my back patio, a huge black craft with 3 dim blue lights and sides that you could see through and that reflected starlight flew over completely silently. It flew over where I could see it in the small patch of sky between the buildings, which made it very personal, and it helped me to feel not alone and like I was being supported and helped. I know this sounds kind of egotistical, but I have since seen bright flashes in the sky and the same craft and the same small patch of sky where I can see between the surrounding buildings, and they seem to react to my thoughts. Somehow my intuition always tells me exactly when and where to look. It makes me think that maybe they are remote influencing me. So my star friends, like my angels, will often give me positive messages of inspiration almost on a daily basis. So my routine has been to wake up early between 2 and 5 a.m. when the veil is thinnest and my cortisol levels are at the lowest. And I sit down with a cup of tea and channel a message for the day. I never know if it's going to be Sarah, Jesus, or my star friends that comes through with a message until they make themselves known during the channeling session. Sometimes they even tell me what I should discuss on this channel, but the messages are always positive and inspirational. I don't think I'm special and that this is something everyone can and should practice, and that by doing so we can change the world in real and practical ways. If nothing else, learning to work with different types of higher intelligence through our spiritual senses using remote viewing can help you understand help you understand your own life in a new way from a higher perspective. And by doing so, it can help you find your purpose for being here on Earth, which has something to do with making it a better world for those who follow. Remote viewing higher intelligences can be used even more practically, such as for the purpose of making money, or influencing your children to stay away from drugs, to believe in themselves, and to do better in school and life. Another type of higher intelligence is the collective consciousness. By tapping into the collective consciousness, you are able to tap into everything that ever was, is, or will be. And that really is because time does not exist on the other side. And it's the other side where we are infinite, and I believe real life takes place. By going into the collective consciousness, you can bring back new technologies, new scientific techniques, or even explore past technologies that have been lost to mankind. So while I'm on the subject of the collective consciousness, also known as the Akashic Records, I'd like to point out that everyone has the ability to connect with lost loved ones that have passed on, even lost loved ones that you may have never met in this lifetime, such as the case with Sarah and I. I didn't know until my near-death experience that I had another half to my soul, and that woman would be the one that I'd want to spend my life with and that I would fall in love with. And not only this life, but I want to spend eternity with her. Even if I can't be with her physically in this reality, she is nevertheless a real being that I'm able to communicate with. And that brings up another point I'd like to make. Your guardian angels are always around you, helping you, but what if you could have a real back and forth relationship with them? How would your life change if you were guided by not only a higher intelligence, but by your guardian angels? What do you think your guardian angels would want for you in this lifetime? What would Jesus or your God want for you? And what if you could continually check in with them and have conversations with them, gaining a better understanding from a being outside of time and space? So in summation, I would like to encourage you to explore your spiritual senses and realize that we are not alone in this world. Be it God, Jesus, angels, or our star friends, we have a lot of help that most of us are not even aware of. I truly believe it is the future of humanity to become part of a galactic community and to work with these higher intelligences to better our world and the world of those around us. I believe the future of remote viewing is to use it as a spiritual technology that benefits us practitioners and those around them. Remember, you are just as gifted with spiritual senses as the best psychics and remote viewers alive today. So ask yourself, how would working with higher intelligences help improve your world? So thank you so much for watching. If you haven't already, hit the like, subscribe, and share buttons. Leave a comment and let me know what you think, but please keep it positive. I'm not getting paid to do this work. I just want to share what I've learned since my near-death experience and what I was shown during my near-death experience. So have a good day. Much love and light. Namaste.